Okay, people, so welcome back to another episode of the Legacy Podcast. How are we doing today? So, the day is currently Sunday. Sundays for me are sort of very important because what they do is they allow me to sort of set the anchor for the week ahead. I always like to sort of manage my time very efficiently. For those of you that did listen to episode 94, which was filmed a couple of days ago, we focused on the exchange rate of time versus your actions. So, that's something that I really apply within my lifestyle. It's something I've created that has allowed me to constantly strive for more, development across the board, my lifestyle, my mind, my job, my clients, my coaching, everything gets managed in the most efficient way, which allows me to constantly have room and have my time to, focus on tasks that, whether it be investing in courses or listening to podcasts. You see where I'm going with this. There is always a time to focus on my business, focus on my clients, but as I'm so regimented and efficient with that, I can always allocate time to learn and develop, which is what we're focusing on today. So for those of you that are sort of avid readers, there'll be a famous book, you may have heard of it. Even if you're not a reader, I guarantee a lot of you have heard of this. The book goes by the name of Rich Dad Poor Dad, and whilst that does come from a financial background, and whilst it does heavily focus on the finances of all things money, jobs and stuff like that, we're going to be applying that to a life system and making it so that you can benefit and that you are listening to this and you can apply the tips so that you can transform your life and not just your finances. So the sole purpose on one of the big focuses and take-homes from Rich Dad Poor Dad is what we call assets and liabilities. Now, in plain and simple terms, an asset is something that grows exponentially over time. If you invest into it, if you do something with it, your actions go into it, it will create a big return, which means that you get out more than what you initially put in. And the idea here is that there are assets in life as well, not just within your money. To put it into a literal term or financial term, an asset would be something like owning a second property where you earn money through rental properties. It could be dividend stocks. It's something that allows you and pays you more money without you trading time for money. It's not a linear source of income, but that's not what we're focusing on. An asset in life is something that brings you more. It allows you to develop as a person, which then leads us to go on to liabilities. Now, liabilities are just simple denominators. They're deductors, they're subtractors. A liability within your life would be buying designer clothes, buying a pointless car when a normal car would do the same thing. You see where I'm going with this? So there are assets and liabilities in life that we need to address and establish in order to move forwards. So an asset in life really revolves around, of course, our environment, which we'll focus on at its own point because that's extremely important. But an asset, the biggest asset that we own right now is our mind. And most people are unaware of this because through lockdown I've had a lot more free time. My lifestyle's been a little bit different, and with that has come an influx of just generally watching more TV. I'll do all my coaching work, and if I find myself watching a couple of YouTube videos here and there, I'm a bit less of a workhorse now. And what I begin to see, because I'm very observant, and those that know me, I'm quite quiet. I like to just observe what's going on around me. And one thing that I'm seeing within people, and this was one that I picked up yesterday. The show body fixers, tattoo fixers, the one where people go on and they want to change something about them. One trend that I'm consistently seeing with individuals is that they're wanting these changes to get the verification of others, to compliment, to get attention from other people. And whilst yes, that may bring them happiness, the idea here is that when it comes to your mind being the biggest asset, it's the idea that everything great is internal. Most people in life, most people of the general population of today's society, they are so desperate, not in a negative way, in that kind of way, but they're so desperate to be validated by other people. They want to fit in, they want to match these patterning trends, designing clothes, who's got the new essentials hoodie, who's got the latest Balenciaga shoes. They want that verification from others to fit into others, to think he's one of us or she's good. I'd like to take her out. It's the idea that people are consistently seeking validations from others. They're seeking everything that's external rather than internal. The second you can switch on to the idea that everything great is internal, if you, for example, I wanted a partner, you wanted to change certain looks of your appearance to attract a certain partner, the only thing here is that it's external and it's not in your control. Whereas if you focus on the qualities that make you a better individual, you focus on things that are in your control, what will happen is you will attract the right person into your life, and that is when you can avoid all the toxicity, the heartbreaks, the head fucks, stuff like that. So what we'll focus on here, and this is what I did a big Instagram post on, is that your mind is your biggest asset. A lot of people when we was growing up used to dream of superpowers, of these skill sets that would allow us to fly, to be invincible. Say, I wish I had £1,000,000. We all have, right now, you guys listening, you all have your very own superpower, which is your mind. If you can get your mind to work for you, not against you, that's going to allow you to enter rooms where people are in a room with you. You're not walking into a room with people. You can start to seek stuff and demand stuff from life that are internal to you. Yes, you want to say acquire £1,000,000. Yes, you want to get an asset in real estate or something like that, but you're doing it because it's internal to you. those opportunities will allow you to create internal happiness that will allow you to create external choices that are designed to move you forwards. If I'm sort of going off on a little side note here, and you feel like I'm waffling, I'm throwing a bit around words that don't make much sense to you, it applies to myself. I want my Legs Fitness training brand, I see it and envision it as the Netflix of fitness. The idea with Legs Fitness training is that I want to create a hub of education to the point where whether you're wanting to lose weight, build muscle, get ready for a show, we're creating a platform that allows you to log in, that can, you can invest into coaching services. We've got the member site. It's creating so many avenues and platforms that means that whatever fitness issue you have, whatever target you have within life, it's all located in one place, which makes it efficient, which therefore makes it easier to adhere to. The more people I can help, the more people I can expand my audience to, the more lives I can transform, which allows Legs Fitness training to be taken to a global scale. That is internal with me, and it's something that since the age of 17 I've envisioned. So yes, I'm chasing more clients, yes, I'm chasing marketing strategies to generate new clients, but that is internal to me because it allows me to replicate my mission statement of Legs Fitness training. So you see here, what I'm doing is I'm getting my mind to work for me, and when I can get my mind to work for me, I'm able to control my daily actions that allow me to make sure that those 24 hours in front of me, for example, we're on Sunday today, I've already planned tomorrow. The next 24 hours are already accounted for and within my control, which means that I control the outcome of that day, whilst the future is unknown. As long as I tick the boxes that I've done and I control the emotions upon waking up, it means that that day will work in my control. So that's a little bit of an intro into assets. So now we can begin to go into liabilities, stuff that takes away deductions of life, denominators. And this really focuses on environment and your emotions. So we've already covered external stuff. Stop seeking external validation. Stop fitting in with others. If you want to attract certain people into your life, it all comes internally. If you, for example, your environment, if you hang around 7 smackheads, you're going to be the 8th. If you hang around 7 millionaires, you're going to be the 8th millionaire. So your environment is everything. So often your environment will either be a liability or an asset. This often comes to your circle. You have to understand that people need to fit your future, not your past or your present. And it's not like I'm trying to initiate the whole hard hustle stuff that you see on Instagram where if your circle isn't discussing 6 figures and stuff like that, let's face it, it doesn't exist. Nobody talks money 24/7. You're allowed to have general conversations with people, but the point here is that if your circle doesn't support your future, they are wanting to achieve that level of development, that strong sense of drive, and you find yourself having to bring yourself down a peg when you're talking to these guys, that's a big indicator that they shouldn't be the people that you're investing your time into. Because as people, we have what's called energy, and your energy is a currency. If you are letting people receive your energy that don't promote and don't bring value to you, then they are what we call a liability, because they're taking and then they're just denominating from you as a person. And what's going to happen is, over the time to come, you're going to become a product of your environment. You're going to start to permanently be a peg down on yourself. You're not going to be the strong individual that you wanted to be, because you're constantly giving your energy to people that just take away and they don't give anything to you. So make sure that people fit your future. They fit where you're going. They fit your mindset, where you're wanting to go in life. And then from there, we can begin to focus on our actions and our goals. Now, most people, they will always say they want £1 million. They'll say that they want more money. They'll say they want this and they say they want that. So I can give them a penny, and I've technically answered their problems because they wanted more money, so I've gave them a penny, haven't I? So they're technically a penny richer. But they would laugh at me because they were thinking, what's this? I wanted more money. But more money is a subjective term, isn't it? So it's the idea that if you are clear on what you want, if you are clear on saying, right, I want like extra 100k, then I can give you the 100k, and that right there is clarity, is power. So it's not the fact that you need to be specific with what you want. Don't just say, I want a job. What job do you want? Don't just say, I want to get Beachbody ready. What exactly do you envision yourself as Beachbody ready? Once you can begin to get clear on your goals, that is when your goals and your actions can become more of an asset. They can tie in with your mindset, your emotions, as opposed to being a liability that just allow you to watch Netflix all day and use this time in lockdown to do nothing. So then finally, we're going to start to go into environment. Now, environment is huge because it governs everything. Because there were a lot of stuff, for example, there was a movie, I'm not too sure what it was, and it basically allowed the plot of the movie was they ended up placing this insanely high stakes bet, and they ended up controlling the outcome, because through the entirety of that day they were showing the oppressor the signs throughout the day. What ended up happening was subconsciously started switching on, so that when it came to choosing the bet, choosing the sides, he chose a number that they initially planned. So the idea here is, with your environment, of course, yes, you're going to be in an environment that offers you stuff that will slap you in the face. You go to work, you have a job, you go to bed, stuff like that. But looking deeper into that environmental picture, are you surrounded by negativity? Are you surrounded by people that just drink all day? Are you surrounded by pubs restaurants, environments that don't thrive, communities that don't do anything. Your environment is huge, and I'm not saying that you have to go to some millionaire landmine, millionaire city, and move countries or anything like that. But I'm just saying, when it comes to your environment, look at what's going on around you. If the people around you, even the people that don't know you, if you're walking around and you just see people that don't have drive, you see people that don't resonate with you, it's a sign that you don't obviously have to move, but just take yourself away from those situations. For example, my area, it's not really the most thriving, it's not really the most affluent of areas. So what I do is I'm aware of that. I address what's going on around me, and then from there I just take myself away from the situations that I don't feel deserve my energy. I'm not going to go to people that are my age that just want to sit in pubs. I don't do that stuff on a weekend, because my time, my energy is more invested into becoming the best version of me. So it's the idea of clock onto what's internal to you and what matters to you, and then take yourself away from the situations and put yourself into situations that work for you, but take yourself away from situations that do not work for you. Okay, so we're going to wrap the podcast up there. We covered quite in-depth array of topics there, which I'm quite happy with. And again, if anything else you want me to cover, let me know and I'll be happy to cover that in an episode.